Let's talk some toys in here.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? It's the man child. Alright, so today for a review, gonna go over my Masters of the Universe Origins Sy-klone figure, which was part of the Mattel Creations exclusive sale. So yeah, a lot of people are getting these in now. From what I found in the comments is that nobody's, or a lot of people anyway, aren't getting any type of confirmation or email update, including myself. So yeah, the sale went off like, I guess almost 2 weeks ago already. And yeah, it just showed up on my door with FedEx, that was it. And once I posted the pics, a few people in the comments on Instagram, both YouTube, were saying the same thing. So maybe this is, yeah, a normal thing with this figure. Maybe it has something to do with the Easter weekend, a glitch. I don't know, but, you know, people are getting them. So did I. And he arrived safe. But check this out, man. We have Sy-klone. Unbelievable. So yeah, scratch another vintage-inspired, very popular figure off the Origins list that a lot of us wanted. Sy-klone probably makes, I would say he's like one of the top 5 favorite figures of all time. Going back to the vintage days as a kid, I just always loved the colors with him. You know, of course, the spinning effect and that he can somewhat, yeah, make tornadoes, I guess, you know. And, yeah, I was always fascinated by weather phenomena. Tornadoes, I always used to pretend I was a tornado and weather chaser. I look up in the sky, clouds, yeah, chase storms and stuff. Make believe anyway, I'm not a real one. But, yeah, so I like him for, all, you know, those reasons. I always thought it was cool that he had that sticker in his chest. I think they call it a lenticular sticker, so it's a reflective, yeah, sticker. It has like the cosmos and space, and yeah, I was always fascinated with outer space and cosmos and all good stuff. So he has that going. Incredible, and I can't believe once again we have one of the Origins. And not only that, we get some awesome box art. Looks like they gave him that that blade, that type of I want to call it planetary blade ring or something that goes back to the 2000X and Classics. And he has some new whirlwind effects or tornado effects now that go on the arms. And taking a little closer look at the art in front of the package. So yeah, we got Sy-klone battling it out with a bunch of horde troopers. Man, he's busting it apart with the, he has those tornado effects or his special abilities coming out of each hands, which are just a bunch of whirlwinds. Up here to the right-hand side, you can see, it looks like the tree and the vulture part of the Fright Zone. I would love to see a Fright Zone Origins. I hope we get one. They did everything else so far. Even Eternity came out. I don't know what they're waiting for. Anyway, so yeah, we have horde troopers all busted up, and then as you go to the left-hand side, looks like we have some type of storage facility that they're coming out of, or manufacturing plant or something, maybe. And then over here, looks like we have Hurricane Hordak. I'm really surprised in the Origins line we haven't seen a Hurricane Hordak yet, because they've done Buzzsaw, a regular Hordak. Pretty easy repaint for the most part. Side, you would need some vac metal on the main armor, and then the left hand with the, or right hand, excuse me, with the spinning blade assembly. Yeah, I can see one sooner or later. And then you also have some of these, I think they're Horde Prime Troopers are called them now, in a red. And they were also announced coming for Origins this year. But beautiful art as always. And now, spinning the box around, taking a look at some more over-the-top awesome art for Origins on back of Sy-klone's box. So here we go. We're having a bigger look at the Fright Zone once again with Sy-klone with his cyclonic, yeah, tornado abilities, bouncing off the mountain or his lower waist spinning. Fighting the Fright Zone monster. Man, this is such a tease. I'd love to see that again. A new Fright Zone for Origins. Got like a ghostly image of Hordak looking over everything as part of that tree. It looks like it's broken now. And you can see Mossman climbing up the mountain with a torch going in the background. Alright, so I got Sy-klone and all his accessories out of card. And before we check them out, of course, Sy-klone comes with a new comic book, which looks pretty cool. Called The Fog of War. So yeah, we have Sy-klone and Lord Grasp on the front of the cover. So I'm just going to open it up, take a look at it, read it if you want. I'll read it later. I always read these later on, but I flipped through it real quick. Got a lot of cool stuff going on here. Got, let's see, Manny Faces, Clamp Champ, there's Extendar. Man-at-Arms. I'm just going to go like this. Oh, there's Lord Grasp. Yeah, Lord Grasp was an exclusive through Walmart for the Origins, and he sold out in about 7 seconds. It's ridiculous. Talon Fighter, just gonna go like this. Check it out. That's cool. Get the wind. So yeah, Sy-klone also controls the weather. Heat. Looks like he's fighting all the good guys. Harness the power of the wind. So, okay. He's fighting He-Man there. Roll against me. Yeah, I'm kind of reading as I'm looking through the camera. He's fleeing, so he's like, there's Lord Grasp again. Sy-klone is not running. Huh, okay. There's Extendar again, pretty cool. And now, taking a closer look at Sy-klone's head and face sculpt. Really well done, clean and neat, at least what they're doing for the Origins. Has his iconic light blue skin going all the way back to the vintage figure, or what the vintage figure had. And if you go to the, if you ever followed the Classics continuity, pretty much a lot of blue skin figures or characters, such as Sy-klone, was what they considered part of the Gar race, which were like blue skin humanoids that lived in Eternia. Now, it doesn't mention on a comic book. Comic book has a little bit different story from what I read in it. But, yeah, you know, pretty neat. Works well for this figure. He has that iconic bright yellow helmet. Again, I always love the different tones as far as the colors in this figure. The red, yellow, and blue. It really stood out to me. So as far as the articulation with this face and the overall helmet, he can look left to right, look down about that far and back. So yeah, you can see the yellow helmet all around the head. It has some extra details in the back. I don't remember if the vintage figure had that, but a little extra sculpting. He has that iconic Saturn-like red ring or some type of blade going around top of the head, just like the vintage figure did. Now that looks like, yeah, it's all part of the helmet sculpt. I want to say it ain't separate, just paint it different. As far as the, so we know he articulates at the head. Now let me remove the head for a second off the ball peg. Here's a quick look at the neck design ball peg with the head off the body. So yeah, it's typical Origin style peg, of course. And now once again, there's a head removed off the body. So we know the ring is all part of sculpt when I can see him paint it. And then what I'm wondering is, this helmet come off? I mean, I don't see why. It looks like it's yeah, maybe cut and pegged and back of the head. So it's a separate sculpt from the head, but not meant to come off for the most part without customizing. Alright, so putting the head back on, moving down to the chest and buck area, and of course, the most important part is this chest sticker, or what they call a lenticular sticker, going back to the vintage figure. So as you can see, yeah, as you rotate it all around, looks like the radar effects are actually working, like it's a, yeah, real working radar inside his chest, even though it's just a sticker. So pretty much lenticular stickers are like, I want to say they're multiple images printed like one over another. And of course, as you start shifting it, or they also call a shifting sticker, it, I want to say, refracts light, so you can only see one image at a time at certain angles. So it's pretty much how they work. I mean, yeah, nothing new, but that's cool. Even going back to something in the 80s. Yeah, I even like the feel of it too. It feels just like the vintage sticker from I remember going back to that figure. So basically, the body is all new tooling, all new buck and everything. Now, we'll check out the arms in a minute. I just want to see, does the, okay, yeah, so the arms come out for customization. That's awesome, because I wasn't sure if that new buck design would affect it. I wouldn't see why. Now, spinning him around, yeah, check that out, he spins. We'll get to the action feature soon. So checking out the back, too, it's, yeah, a whole new piece to put that blade ring on, which we'll get to soon. So you can see that, where the, I don't think the vintage figure never had that, but the 2000X and Classics did. It's something similar to this. So that's all new. It looks like a separate, I want to say, sculpted piece that is kind of clipped onto the main body from what I can see. So it's neat they did that. So moving back to the arms. So yeah, taking a look at the right arm, we know it comes out. So does the left arm. As far as the articulation, I can go all the way down to the body, up, go forward, back. He does, so Sy-klone also has these small blades on the arms, just like the vintage figure did, but they're a little different now. I think the vintage figure came down a little more because they were sculpted all the way into the forearm, where the Origin Sy-klone now is different because of the articulation, which is fine. Now, they're just, yeah, they're separate pieces, but it looks like there's a cut in the bicep, and they're both glued in. They don't come off. They don't spin, which is fine. So he has articulation at the elbow, right? Go all the way forward like that, all the way down. Can spin at the elbow. He has, again, more of these Saturn-like blade rings, or something I'm going to call it, going back to like the ring up in the head. It's all part of the forearm sculpt, and so is the, so you have like a blue glove that also goes up to the ring. Is that part of the, yeah, it's all part of the sculpt, that it's painted different than the forearm. So we know the main arms are yellow, the part of the forearm is yellow, this is painted red and that's blue, and the other sides are all the same. So Sy-klone also comes with a semi-weapon gripping hand on the right side that can spin, go in and out. We know it can come out, which I'll show soon. And then the left side, so as far as the articulation, the arm, the blade, right? It's all the same, this ring, the glove piece. But on the left side, he comes with a blue, yeah, open hand that's, I guess, works for the shield, and that can spin, and hinge joint goes in and out. So now, finally, moving down to the waist, because that's pretty important as far as his action feature and his overall design. So we already talked about the arms, the color, the head, the sticker. We know this is a refractive type sticker, and this has a radar that can pretty much pinpoint opponents and, I guess, vehicles and stuff like that. In the comic, it says that he it helps him pinpoint the heroic warriors and their location, because they're under some type of spell from Lord Grasp or something like that, from what I was reading. Anyway, because I never understood what the point of this was as a kid. Is it supposed to be spaceships, planets? What was it supposed to be doing? But that's what it says, does in the comic. It could do all of that. Getting back to the waist, so yeah, he has his own unique belt and loin pad kind of sculpt. Again, going back to the vintage. Has a little belt buckle. It shows like, looks like Saturn or something on it. Now, as far as Sy-klone's action feature, all right, so there's the back. He does have the iconic, that twist button mechanism. Now, you see if you spin it with your thumb, as we did as kids, or at least what I did, it doesn't do anything. So in order to activate him, what you do now is you just pop the waist up. So you do have a little gap. It's okay. And now you can put the arms out like he's punching people or however you want to position them. And now you take that mechanism in the back and check that out. There's a spinning effect. Incredible. Awesome. I love it. And then, you know, you can go back the other way. Really cool. So I don't mind that. Now, from what I can see, does not, that is his action feature, as I said, and it doesn't, yeah, he does not come apart at the waist. So as far as customization, you can't switch other parts on. I mean, he's Sy-klone, that's what he's supposed to be doing. But we know the head comes off, the arms, the hands, which I'll show a little bit when we put those tornado effects on. But yep, does not come apart at the waist, but that's okay. I'm all right with that. All right, so then when you want to make him look regular without a gap, you don't want to use that. You just push him down, lock it. That's it. So snapping the waist action feature back together to hide that gap, and we know now once it's deactivated, that button's not going to work, which is fine. Moving down to the legs, so yeah, he has these bright yellow spandex Eternia muscle suit pants on. Bright yellow, again, it's just, I love it. It works cool with this character, like the arms and the helmet. As far as the articulation with the legs, kick forward about that far, go back about, you know, only that far back. Can bend all the way up at the knee, spin at the knee. Let's see, go all the way out with a split. I love the articulation with these Origins compared to the vintage. You can do all that. I said that a few times in my videos, but I just can't get over it. You can do so many cool things with them. So moving down to, you got this, yeah, space boots, again with these Saturn blade type rings. Looks like it's all part of, okay, so it's all part of the boot sculpt. These are not separate. So you got the blue, you know, regular style boots, and the rings are all part of that painted red. And they can spin, and it looks like, can they come off? Yeah, you can see the pegs. I'm not going to remove them because why would I? You know, I'm not going to put, you can put He-Man, Skeletor boots, wherever you want with them. I'm going to leave them on, but they can remove. And as I said, they can spin, and you got the foot that can go up and down, and looks like it can rock side to side. And now, moving forward with Sy-klone's weapons and accessories. So, of course, Sy-klone comes with his vintage-inspired, iconic yellow shield. Right? It has those typical patterns going through it. It's supposed to signify wind or something like that. Spin around, see where the handle is here and where it locks onto the arm. And now bringing Sy-klone in once again, of course, the shield's going to go on the left hand because it comes with the open hand for the shield. And you're just going to push it through, you know, the handle with the fingers, and then lock the open part behind this red blade like so. And now there's a look with Sy-klone equipped with a shield. And now, of course, raising his waist once again and engaging his action feature with the shield. So, of course, we can spin him around and use a shield as a weapon. So, removing the shield off Sy-klone's left hand, taking a look at the back one once again. It looks like you can store the shield on this lower part. So, you would take the main handle, from what I see, you can snap it on like that, it can kind of articulate and snap in place. See that? In the back and hold the shield from what I can see. But it doesn't look like this top part. No, it doesn't hold it. Or you can maybe put it upside down. Alright, so moving forward with Sy-klone's next accessory. So they include this bladed ring, or I like to call it a planetary bladed ring. Reminds me of something, yeah, a ring that goes around Saturn, but with a cut in it. It's obviously a big blade. Now, this was first seen with the Sy-klone in the 2000X cartoon and figure. And real quick, I actually have that figure, so it's not a comparison, but just to give you an overall idea, that's a pretty cool Sy-klone. Really, yeah, it looks like the iconic Sy-klone, but a whole redesign. But if you notice with their figure, and he had the action feature too as well, which is cool. We didn't have to raise the waist. See, he had that ring on the back, which I think it articulated. I don't remember. Yeah, see, so this one swings up and goes over the head like that, and can, yeah, if you mess around with it, I think you can go backwards too. But that's kind of where the concept came from. And then later on, they added it with the Classics figure. And now jumping back to the Origins Sy-klone again with this ring. So there's a couple different ways you can position this. So you can lock it on the bottom, keep it upright like that for like storage, right? You can pop it on the top and articulate it down, kind of hang on an angle like that. But when it's in the up position, from what I can see, you can tilt it forward. So it does articulate. And now you have it's positioned like a blade around his neck and upper shoulders. And with the blade locked in his position and his action feature engaged, I guess he could spin around with the arms down. It could be a an upper blade weapon. Somebody comes in for attack, or he can, I guess, fly forward like this. His tornadic rage, use it like that. Or you can articulate it and use it like this. And now removing the blade off the top, catch a Sy-klone's blade on the back, and to equip him on the lower part once again seems easier to me. So you keep, engage the action feature if you want it to, which it is. Bring it up behind the legs and snap it in like this. Keep the arms up, level like that. And now you have the blade around the main waist. And again, it's like a bladed weapon, but lower now. And then the other thing you can do once you remove this blade from the backpack, we'll call it, on the back of Sy-klone's back, is you can use it as a weapon for his gripping hand. So of course I put the shield back in the left side just to have it in. And it looks like you can grab it like this, right? Or maybe the other way, but that's pretty cool too. Now you have that weapon. Keep his action feature engaged. Move his arm around. Check that out. That's a dangerous weapon. Or you can turn it that way like a blade. Oh, that's awesome. Wow. Pretty cool. Right, so moving forward once again, I brought in one of my spare Origins Skeletor figures sitting off to the side from the Screech 2-pack that, I have so many Skeletors. He just sits there. Of course, we got to try Sy-klone's action feature. So we have him engaged, and right now we got the shield and the blade in hand like this. See what kind of damage that does. Alright. And without the blade, let's see Sy-klone's effect. We'll just punch him in the face with the arms and shield. And now I put the blade around the waist and put the arms up. I don't know see how that works as a defense weapon. Still hits him with the hands. And now I put the blade in the top part. I angled it down like he's coming in horizontal, sideways. You can't really get a lot of force because of this rolling trigger, but I guess it's supposed to hit the figures like that. So, taking a closer look at Sy-klone's backpack, it actually removes with a peg. I thought it was glued in because I was trying moving it, couldn't come out, but that's pretty cool. And you can see now this ring and shield, you can, I don't know if you're supposed to do this, but you kind of store them at the same time, and with this peg removed, seems to me as you can, so normally it was, let's see, it was set like this, because the lower part of the handle shield was on the bottom of this, remember? But it looks like you can spin it around and do it, I don't know if it'll work the other way. No, it won't. Okay, it has, the way it's sculpted to the back, it has to go one way. And it just pops in. So it is removable, and you can put the ring and the shield on at the same time if you want to for storage. And now, once again, moving forward, checking out Sy-klone's two last accessories. He comes with these tornadic whirlwind effects that go on each hand. This is so cool. I'm a sucker for translucent accessories or weapons. I love the sculpting of these. They look like little tornadoes upside down. So you can see it's just like a light blue color. I'm putting a light through it, right? A little translucent. Yeah, really cool. I mean, I didn't expect to get these originally till we seen the final figure and package, but you can see their typical Origin style pegs are going to go in hands. We're going to change that soon. And they're on a hinge joint. They can just go up and down. All right, so let's set Sy-klone up with these whirlwind effects that go on his hands. So I'm going to remove the hand on the right side, put this one in here. And now with that whirlwind effect on the right hand, so it can spin and it can articulate back and forth, or depending what position you spin the hand in. And again, with the action feature engaged, and I just put this blade in the back. I think it works best high because it just stays out of the way of this rolling triggers, rolling mechanism. And of course, I took the shield out of the way. So yeah, you can move the arm out like that, and it's kind of doing its own thing spinning, but of course you can also use it as a weapon, spin around in conjunction with it. And now let's remove the left hand, put the other whirlwind effect on that side. And now there's a stationary look with that set up. Of course, I still have his action feature engaged. You can still see a little gap, but it ain't bad. But yeah, that's a neat effect to add with this Origin Sy-klone. And of course, with both tornado effects on each hand, bringing our Skeletor again, spin him around. Now he really has a wide range of reach with that. You can take out a whole bunch of figures. Well, let's try Skeletor. It's heavy too, by the way, and it actually puts a lot of resistance on this rolling switch. But And of course, you can remove this whirlwind from the right hand, put the hand back in, the blade on, keep this whirlwind effect on the left hand because that was the open with the shield. And now you have that spinning effect with both of those accessories attached. Okay, so I think I pretty much went over all his action features, everything I could think of as far as setups with his shield and these whirlwind effects and that blade. And of course, you could put the shield on the right hand by just gripping it and snapping over the forearm. I mean, I could not be more excited and happier how Sy-klone came out. Now, here's a quick childhood Motu story for anybody who wants to hang around and listen. Yeah, it seems like 90% of my vintage-inspired Motu figures, going back to a kid, has a story. I told some before on like my top 10 video or something like that in the past. Sy-klone was one of those figures that not only going back to nostalgia, but just the minute I got him in hand or I got the classics, whatever, I went, oh my God, the time I got Sy-klone. So I was probably about 10 years old, somewhere around here, when Sy-klone sort of came out in the vintage line of days. He was like, I don't want to say the end of the line, but middle towards the end or something like that. I used to hang out with this kid. We'll call him Eddie. Crazy Eddie. Yeah. He wasn't a bad kid, but he was a little kind of, his parents didn't care what he did. And when I would go over his house and stay over, we'd sort of get in trouble. Now, not kind of trouble where you would get arrested or police involved, nothing like that, but just things we shouldn't be doing. His parents, they were cool, but kind of didn't care, that kind of thing. So I was a big Motu collector in the day. I had most of the collection, and Sy-klone was next on my list. Now, there was no internet in those days, nothing like that, but I did see him in some, like, magazines or ads you would get in a newspaper or something like that for Toys R Us and whatnot. But I didn't have Toys R Us where I was at. We had Child's World. And whatever previous figures my mom took me to Child's World to get in hand, I remember seeing Sy-klone on back of the card art, right, the cross-sell. So you knew the figure was coming around in, a month or two. So here I'm on the hunt. So me and my mom go back to Child's World. Meanwhile, never found a Sy-klone. I was talking to one of the workers there and go, yeah, he should be on, well, they knew not what they were talking about, but yeah, he should be coming in soon. Just that and the other thing. So me and my friend Crazy Eddie, I stayed over his house. And because his parents didn't kind of care what he did, we took our bikes out. Again, we're 10. He's around the same age I was. I think he was a year older than I was, like 11. Now, he didn't collect Motu, but he liked the toys. He was the kind of guy that was in electronics and bikes and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm into He-Man toys. So we ride all the way to Child's World on our bikes. Now, we rode on major highways, which I still live near, and today it's crazy. You got 10 times the traffic. But even then, you had a lot of traffic, but not as much as now. But Child's World from his house, which wasn't far from my house, was about 5 miles each way. That's pretty far for two kids on bikes. And I remember taking this trip. It was about 90 degrees out. Maybe I had $10 in my pocket, and vintage Motu figures were like $4.99, $5, something like that. So we go all the way to Child's World. How he didn't get killed is beyond me. Crossing lights and things. I just followed him. We had to cross this major intersection. Holy cow. But I'll tell you what, we got there, and guess what? They had Sy-klone. I could not believe it. I was so happy. So I get Sy-klone, start heading back, 5 miles back the other way. I stopped and got like a can of Pepsi, I think. And on the way, there was a little pet store. And I had a fish tank and whatnot. And make a long story short, I wanted to get a goldfish. So I had $10. The Sy-klone at Child's World was like, $5 in tax. Can of soda in a day was 50 cents, something like that. And a goldfish was like $1 something. Had plenty of money. We get back home. We start getting back to Crazy Eddie's house. And on the street before his house, I'm behind him, and this dog comes out of nowhere. It was I don't want to say a Rottweiler. It was like a Rottweiler or something like that from what I remember. Really nasty. He's something that should have been in the house or on a leash, but he comes after me, he attacks me on my bike. He starts grabbing my pant leg. He's shaking me. So here I have Sy-klone in a Child's World bag. I got the goldfish and the can of Pepsi I didn't open up yet because I'm ready to drink it. This dog's ready to rip me off my bike, and I'm kicking at him. I'm pushing as hard as I can. Finally, if he would have got a hold of me, I couldn't imagine what would happen. Before I opened my can of Pepsi, I started drinking it right before he attacked me. So, the handlebars, all stuff, holding the figure. I wound up throwing a can of soda at him, and it bounced off when he went, and he turned around. And I'm pedaling on my bike faster, and my friend Eddie's way ahead of me. He goes, let's go. The dog comes up again, comes after me, attacks my other leg. My pant leg. I'm screaming, I'm banging. And I didn't know what to do. I mean, this dog's going to pull me off my bike. So I had two options. I had to throw something at him. It was either the goldfish before he kills me or Sy-klone. Well, guess what I threw at him? I threw the goldfish in a bag at this dog because he had hold of my leg. I was bleeding, right? Shaking my thing. My pant leg was all tore up. And I remember throwing the goldfish bag. I hit him right in the head. And it bounced off. And he went, and he took off and he stopped. And the thing was rolling in the street with I think the bag broke open with the poor fish. And I just took off out of there and he stopped. But guess what? I got home with Sy-klone. I lost my fish. Didn't finish my can of soda. But I got good old Sy-klone. I took him out of package. I was twisting him, playing him around. I couldn't be happier. So that was my Sy-klone story. And yeah, this Origin one brings back memories. But all right, compared to that, I can get attacked by a dog, didn't lose a fish. And it was not hot out, and I have to go on a bike ride. It was 10 miles long, but I couldn't be happier how this figure came out. I mean, not only did they, you know, put back the action feature, even though you had to pop the waist apart, it changed a little bit. It works great. The sticker, the colors, yeah, the action feature. You get these extra tornado effects now. You get the shield, this piece now, going back to 2000X and Classics. Just a perfect figure. I could not be happier, and I hope everybody that's getting them in hand is just as happy. They did a great job for them. So I appreciate everybody watching. And until next time, take care.